What's up guys, it's Michael from iPodTech.com. Today I have a size comparison of a lot of devices. I have a ton of things here that I will be comparing to the size of the iPad mini. So for those of you guys who can, just measure out things in your head easily, this is 7.9 inches right across here. And I'm going to be comparing it to the iPad, the Nexus 7, as well as some other things. So here is the 3rd generation iPad. This is not the 4th generation, but this is the same size screen the iPad has been ever since the iPad was released. As you can see here, it is definitely smaller. Who would have guessed? The iPad mini is smaller than the iPad. But yes, this is definitely smaller, and I'll also be throwing up some pictures of thickness-wise here. I'll go ahead and lay this on top of the 3rd generation iPad mini, and you'll also be able to see a little bit of a difference. So it is definitely a lot smaller, in my opinion. I think it's a lot smaller compared to the just the regular iPad. Now let's go ahead and throw a Nexus 7 in here. So the Nexus 7 is pretty much about the exact same size. The iPad mini, however, is a little bit bigger, both in length and height. So as you guys can see right there, it is definitely a little bit, just a hair bit taller and a little bit wider, you guys can see right there. Now if you turn both devices on, maybe you'll get a clearer picture of what actually shows on the screen. Again, it's very hard to tell which one's bigger, but the iPad mini is just a little bit bigger. And we also have the iPhone 5 to compare in here. So as you can see, it is definitely looks giant compared to the iPhone 5. If we turn it on here, you can be able to see it is definitely much bigger. Thickness wise, the iPhone 5 seems to be a little bit thicker. Weight wise, the iPhone 5 seems to be a little bit lighter. Again guys, this is just a comparison for those of you guys who don't have a chance to see an iPad mini, just to kind of get an idea of how big it actually is. If you have an iPad mini at your local Best Buy or Apple store, I'd recommend going to that and just trying one out, because it's much easier to actually see it in your hands and play with it versus just seeing it on a video. But for those of you guys who haven't held an iPad mini, you don't have one yet, or your stores don't have one, this is just a comparison to see how big it actually is. We also have the iPod Touch in here, which is the same size screen as the iPhone 5, but it is definitely a lot thinner. So the iPod Touch actually is much thinner, not much thinner, but definitely thinner than the iPad mini. As you guys can see right there, there's the iPod Touch 5th generation compared to the iPad mini. Now it's the first thing that doesn't have a screen that I'm going to be comparing it to, and I'm going to assume a lot of you guys have it at home, but here is an Xbox 360 controller. You guys maybe think I'm comparing stupid stuff, but again, this is for people who haven't had the chance to see an iPad mini. I'm not even going to worry about thickness wise on this and how thin it is, but as you guys can see, it is about a little bit bigger than the width of the Xbox 360 controller. So you guys can see right there, iPad mini, Xbox 360, it is pretty big actually for a smaller tablet. And then just because I had it lying around, I'm comparing the iPad, or the iPod Nano. I guess you could call this the iPad Nano, but this is the newest iPod Nano on here. You guys can see this thing looks like a behemoth compared to this little Nano. But guys, again, this is just a comparison. I'm trying to get the best way I can do it to compare it to the iPad mini size. For a smaller tablet, this is definitely a little bit bigger than I was expecting. I was expecting Apple to do a maximum of like 7.5 inches. This is 7.9 inches. I thought it was going to be more so 7. I was thinking maximum 7.9, but now they're almost at 8 inches. So it's pretty big for a smaller tablet and for a cheaper price. Whether or not you guys want to buy it, that's up to you. If you haven't seen my unboxing video yet, you can click the videos playing on screen. I also have a camera test, and that's it. This is just a comparison between some stuff in the iPad mini. It's definitely a larger tablet compared to like the Nexus 7 or something, but it's not as big as a full-size tablet. I'll also have my review up soon, so be sure to stick around for that, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.